Hi there. I'm sorry I am a mess. We are remodeling our house, so I'm doing remodeling and I'm taking a break and doing homework and so forth and so on. So I look a little crazy sometimes. Anyway, for my reading log, I think this is my last reading log, I believe. I did the book Not So Different by Shane Burkhoff. Um, Basically, it is about a young boy, or a young man, I guess I would say, um, who has the disease called spinal muscular atrophy, or they say SMA for short. And it's basically a book that goes through different questions that people ask during. It goes through all these pictures of him as a child. I don't know if you can read this, but this is some of his friends and his brother. Um, He basically just asks questions that a lot of kids usually ask. Why is your head so much bigger than the rest of your body? So he goes into it and explaining it. Basically, his head's bigger than his body because his head keeps growing while his body is so weak it stays the same. So this is basically what his questions about his disease, like, what did they help you with? Like his parents and his friends and his family. Uh, he goes on and talks about different things. How he plays with his friends and does wheelies with his brother. Um, how he can go to places if there's a wheelchair accessible because he can't climb stairs. But as long as there's a ramp, he can get up it. Um, and then the very last page, do people make fun of you? There's two people talking. And then he's over there just like, really? But this page I'm going to read to you. Do people make fun of you? Occasionally, and it hurts my feelings, because if they knew me just a little bit, they would see that I'm not so different. I believe it's very important not to judge a book by its cover. So, when you meet someone who looks different from you, it's always best to treat them with kindness and respect. After all, that person may end up becoming your very best friend. And I used that in the writing part of my writing log or reading log because I think it's important. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what's inside its heart, in a person's heart, and you might miss out on the opportunity to find somebody that's very nice and very caring. So I think this book is very good for children because it teaches them that not everyone, I mean, they might look different on the outside, but inside their heart, they're just the same as you and I. So my activity, I had a hard time with this because it's such a true story, and disability is near and dear to my heart. And so I thought maybe we could take a field trip to maybe a nursing home where there's people that have wheelchairs, or maybe even just going to the park, and if we see somebody that is in a wheelchair or maybe different than us, we can go up to them and say, "Hi, my name is Tara. I hope that you are my friend someday, and maybe we can just talk and get to know each other," kind of thing. So my activity is more of a hands-on activity. Maybe if the gym is free and we have enough wheelchairs, we could play wheelchair basketball because, I mean, they do have a Special Olympics for that kind of thing. And so if you play wheelchair basketball, maybe you would feel how this person feels, like the struggles they go through. Like, he can play football and he can play soccer in this story, is what it says. But he has a hard time doing those things because he is not the same as everyone else. Like if he forgets to put his straps on his wheelchair, it throws him out of his chair and he lands on his poor little head. So, but he likes to play football and soccer, and he just kicks the ball with his wheelchair. And instead of tackling people, he just runs them over with his wheelchair, is what he said. So it's just kind of a neat little book, and I found it interesting because, you know, I work at a school, and so there are some children that are different than us, but they're not really that different if you get to know them. So get to know somebody if you run into them and they are not like you. They're not much like you in their hearts of hearts. So have a great day.